Well, the work hasn't stopped here around the farm. We got a lot to do, and we got to get it done fast. Now, there are a few things that we have changed on this playthrough just because there was some comments in the comment section specifically about the pigs. And our issue is that pigs on Ray County, Missouri take a special feed or mix in order to reproduce. And I did not catch that. Somebody in the comment section did. They did a little testing, and they said you cannot feed strictly corn to the pigs. So I thought to myself, well, that sucks. How do I make this work now? And I think I got a solution for it. And I think that solution is a way for us to continue the series without having to completely start over or even abandon this series, and I didn't want to do that. So what we did is we changed quite a bit of things in order for this to work. So as of right now, in our animal section, you can see our health of their animals is not very good. Now, total mix rations in Ray County, Missouri is what would give total 100% efficiency type thing where animals would reproduce. I have come up with a solution, and that solution is by adding a new building to the farm. Okay, hear me out. This building is a pig feed production mod. You can pick it up off the mod hub. I have done a little tweaking to it, and that tweaking is specific for this map. So what I did is I went in and I changed some stuff. I'm going to make this work, but I added some mineral feed because if we can't just strictly feed them corn, then we need to kind of give it some more, challenge maybe? So the thing is we got two different kind of recipes. Down here at the bottom, we got corn, wheat, mineral feed, making pig food. The next one is corn, soybeans, and mineral feed equals pig food. All right. So the thing is when you look at the animal section, pig food distributes things out, root crops, protein, grains, base food. It proportions it out. So that's kind of going to be our workaround to keep this series alive. Now, the other thing we added on here as well is a crop rotation planner. Now, what this planner does is it allows me to kind of keep track of things that were on fields, what's getting planted next, because the thing's going to be is we are going to go from corn, specifically field 12, corn, which is what it was right now. We're going to plant wheat. From wheat, we're going to plant soybeans. The crop calendar is pretty tough. As you can see, corn can be harvested in October, November, and wheat can be planted September, October, November. So it is still November. We have not gone to the next month yet. That's where we're going to have to kick it in high gear because I need to get these fields planted like ASAP. So from that, after this is all planted, we have the ability, and it's going to be a booger butt, is we have wheat that can be harvested in July, and we can also plant soybeans in July. So we got to harvest the wheat, then plant the soybeans. Then that's where the rotation of the crop comes into play. So soybeans to corn, you basically give that field a rest. Now, we're probably going to have to pick up a couple more fields in order to make this work, but I have gone through and I actually got some mineral feed in the Parker wagon here, and we're going to top this off because we need to get this going, as well as getting I'm thinking we're probably going to have to lease ourselves a seeder because we don't have one. So that being the case, we got to head to the shop and see if they have anything and what we could actually get to be able to get ourselves a seeder. But I need to get this thing topped off here. So we're going to take this back around. The mineral feed is done. There is another thing that we did add. We added a fill limiter mod to this. That's how I got that proportion in there. Oh, and we got all that stuff there too. There's a lot going on in this series. There's a lot going on in this episode. So we need to get some soybeans in here. But first of all, I need to turn this off Let's reset that. And that's going to be back to what we needed to. And we're going to fill ourselves up with some soybeans. The other thing we did add is the bushel mod. It's a unit convert mod. It's not from Thundar. It is on the mod hub itself. It is PC only at this time. So we got bushels, we got gallons, we got feet, all converted into this as well. So yeah, like I said, we got a lot going on. We got to get this field to our left planted, but that requires us to go get a seeder. But like I said, I need to get this thing going, so I need to actually turn this plant on. Let's see if I can get the trigger here. There we go. All right, so we are doing soybeans, so let's activate that one. And while we're at it, we're just going to activate the wheat one as well. Otherwise, I will probably forget. So we're going to let that drain out or empty out, and then we need to go grab some corn. Oh, I tell you. Also, the other thing that we did put into this was a storage shelf, basically is what it is. It's going to be able to hold all of those totes that we had just laying around because I didn't have any storage for it. So, you know, it is. It's a farm. There's stuff kind of laying everywhere right now. But so as I was reading this comment about the pig section, like I said, I really didn't want to give up this series because I thought this was going to be a fun series. And actually, I think now the way it is, we should still be able to make quite a bit of money from just selling pigs now that we'll be able to get the pigs to reproduce. So that's going to be a plus. But yeah, we got so much going on right now that it's making my head spin. All right, let's get this load of corn into the mixer. We're gonna call this the feed mill. We're gonna call this the feed mill just for the aspect of. That's kind of what it is. You know, it's basically we're making our own pig feed. We just happen to be using a specific mod. And you can get this mod directly off of the mod hub itself. It is called the Pig Feed Production mod. Now, it's not going to look anything like this because I have done a lot of changing to it to make it work for what we're doing in this series. So, yeah, a lot going on. So I am hoping that we get enough pig food that we can start putting these into the pig barns and get these pigs to start getting to that health where we need to get them to, so that way they can reproduce. All right, we got about 4 bushels left in this thing and we should be good. We're going to spin this thing around and get this parked underneath the unload bin or hopper, whatever you want to call this. And we need to grab ourselves the 7150. The 7150 should be over here, I believe is where I parked it. Yes, right there. So these are the totes I was talking about. They need to eventually, I'm not going to do it now because we are crunched for a little bit of time, but they are going to eventually go into this storage shelf right here. What you do is you bring the pallet over there and then it automatically stores. Well, I think that will be something that will be useful because the way that the mod for the soil and fertilizer mod, we have to use a lot of different types of fertilizer, herbicides, fungicides, things like that. There's a lot more to it than just the regular precision farming stuff. So we're going to head off to the shop, see what they got for a seeder, and come back and hopefully start getting our stuff planted. So I will meet you at the shop. We'll check to see what they got in the catalog, and hopefully we'll be able to bring something back to the farm and start planting field 16. All right, we joined. All right, we got to the John Deere dealership, and let's see what they got for used equipment, which I hope they have something, but I don't really know for sure what we're going to have. That's not very wide. I mean, it is 22 feet, which seems, I don't know, it seems a little small, but we are looking for a seeder to be able to, something halfway decent to be able to, they don't really have anything here in the used section, so let's go actually and see what they got. Unfortunately, it looks like we might I'm thinking we might have to lease something. I don't know that we want to particularly buy anything because we only got $111,000. As much as some of these would be nice, some of these bigger ones, I just don't know for sure if anything is going to trip our trigger. Yeah, some of this stuff, it just seems too small. I don't know. This one right here, we'd have to lease it. Yeah, this one might have to be it. This one might have to be it. What's this one? 39, 4, 300, 180. Okay, so we can pull that with our truck we got there. So let's actually, we don't need automatic row shut off. Let's, we're just going to lease. We are not going to purchase this right now. $8,400. Whoa. All right. Well, I guess it is what it is. Let's lease it and let's take it home and get it planting. Ouch. That really hurts the pocketbook there. So, whoo-wee. All right. Well, I mean, it's going to get the fields done quick. That will be the bonus. Hopefully. Hopefully we don't have any issues with filling it or anything like that. This tractor, the 7150, will have no problem pulling this thing through the field. We got plenty of horsepower with it. You know, actually, this one doesn't look like it would be too terribly bad, but just not used to seeing one like this. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. We were going to meet back. We'll get back to the farm. We got to get ourselves some seed for this, so we'll have to get that all going as well, but I'll meet you back at the farm. Well, if this isn't perfect timing, we got our seed showing up to the acreage. Heck yeah. All right, so we're going to field 16. We should be able to go meet them up there and get everything situated and ready to rock and roll to start doing some drilling directly into the corn stalks is what we're going to do. So we're going to get over there and get ourselves set up, get this seeder all filled up with some seed, and we'll start planting some wheat. We're going to sneak on over here. We'll definitely beat them there for sure. All right, now I'm not quite sure how this is all going to how we're going to get this all filled in here, because okay, so I'm not quite sure. Let's see, we might need to do, I think by the looks of this looks like this might be something that this could be kind of difficult. We need to let's see, let's get this thing opened up. Can I okay, well, maybe we aren't gonna like this cedar. Maybe we, yeah, I think if we got to fill it up, I don't think we can go over the back like you want to. We can try to back it up there, but I don't think it's going to work. See if I can even back this thing up there. If I can back this thing up there close enough and get it to work, then so be it. But I don't know if that thing will reach out far enough to get this thing even. Yeah, see, we're hitting that. So can we do something like, yeah, I don't know. This is not gonna be fun if we got to do this every time to fill this stinking thing. But we leased it now, so I think it's gonna have to work. We're gonna take this into the field, I guess, and I don't know. We'll see if we can swing and kind of get this thing kind of jackknifed in there in a way. I don't know. I really don't know how we're going to do this. Make sure we don't hit that. And then maybe something, oh, shoot. All right, let's zoom out just a little bit. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Okay, oh, we got it. All right, we got it. But if we have to do this every time, this is not what I want to do in order to get this thing to be able to fill it. it's working for now, and we'll just have to fight through and struggle through the pain a little bit. But I don't think, yeah, we're going to definitely have to look for something different next go around and see what we can do. This is taking quite a bit. All right, looks like we're full. Let's fold that down, and we'll get this thing out of the way. Park it right over here, and then we'll jump into the tractor and get that thing squared away and ready to go. All right, we got done setting up our GPS in this. We should be ready to go, I'm hoping. We'll kind of start over in this general vicinity and see what we can do. We're gonna have to fire this thing up. We gotta make sure, there it goes, GPS kicked on. All right, let's get the drill up and going. Get this set down, and away we go. I want to go just a little ways because I want to make sure that this is actually planting. Since we are using the direct drill mod, enable for this to work. So let's get out and just check to see. We'll go into the back here. And it is. Crop is wheat, and we are growing. Yield bonus is already at 91%. Heck yeah. All right. Let's get this whole field hammered out. This is going to take a while. I do have 2 headlands to go on here. We wouldn't necessarily have to do that with like a wheat or even like the soybeans. We wouldn't necessarily have to do that. With corn, you want to definitely do that to give yourself that room to turn around. Now, as I was sitting and reading some of these comments and kind of watching back on some of my videos, I felt like the content really wasn't me in a way. I hope you guys felt it was me, but I felt it wasn't. I just felt like there was too much automation going on. So I have actually removed course play, the GPS side of things that I was using, because that just made it seem like I was just struggling way too much in order to get things to work the way I was wanting it to work. We are still using auto drive. We're going to use it more strategic rather than the way that we were using it. So my hopes is with the course play still enabled, but we're just not using the add-on to the course play that acts as like the GPS. We're getting rid of that. We're still going to use course play if we need to. The one thing that we are going to be still using is the auto drive. Now, when it comes to harvest time, I think we can be able to still get it to work as long as I am in the combine type thing. We'll see. We'll see. It's one of those things that I'm just trying to test out some different things and see how things go. So we'll see how it goes. We still have auto drive. We still have course play. I got rid of the course play edition or the add-on, and we're just using regular GPS. I can set that up to all my angles I want. Will work just fine. So yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting. But we got a lot of this field left to plant. Obviously, we haven't even made it around yet, so we're still on the 0.5 times. We're still letting time run because I need that pig feed to get moving in the grain mill. But this might take a little while. We might see, I don't know. I need to check to see what the speed of this planter is. If it is faster than what we're doing right now, if I need to go grab the 2+2, I will do it. I might actually do that on the go around because it does seem like we're kind of struggling a little bit on some of these hills, on these slopes, things like that, that we might have to grab the 2+2. This is a pretty wide planter, even though it only said we only needed like 220 horsepower. This tractor has plenty of power, but it just seems like it's not doing the greatest. We could fix it too. I did notice on the bottom right that our maintenance to this looks like it could be fixed a little bit. All right, so let's get this corner done. Get that locked in. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we're going to get ourselves around this field, and I think we're going to grab that 2+2. We're going to get that 2+2 switched over to this and have a little bit more horsepower to be able to pull this thing. Also, that's going to give us the ability to utilize this because I do believe on field 12, I think I still need to do some field. We still need to put some chemicals and stuff like that on the field. So we might have to go check that and get that rolling with this guy. That's where the course play is going to still come in handy, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to let him go do his thing while we focus on the somewhat of the important stuff right now. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting, guys. I feel like we are going to be in a better place right now, the way we have this set up. The way with the pig feed, I think it's going to work, even though I really wanted to do just strictly corn, but just the way things worked out, we had to adapt to the situation. So let's get this field planted. Well, this planting hasn't gone too terribly bad. Everything seems like it's working kind of as intended. So, got a single pass left and maybe just a tad that we're going to have to kind of swing back around this way. They're kind of in the corner of the field, but we did 2 passes around this field, and then we did 90-degree rows up and down. So that's the direction we are going. I know it's across the current state of the corn, but the corn stalks, excuse me. But I don't think it's going to be an issue because eventually everything will get worked up. Unfortunately, this time around, it's not getting worked up. So this was a lot easier just using the regular GPS, in-game GPS, than it was with the course play edition for the GPS stuff. That just it was getting too complicated for what I was wanting to do. This has been a little bit more enjoyable for our end of things, but we got this field completely done, which is good. We can fold this thing up. I would like to head all the way down to field 12, and I am hoping that we're going to be able to knock out that field with the 22% of wheat, which is 36 bushels of seed left in our tractor. I'm really hoping we can. I know that field needs a little work as far as like chemicals on it, like I said before, but I want to get this planted. I want to get this going. So we're going to head on down there and get that planted. And then we have kind of some tidy up work to do up here on the farm. We got to get those pallets and those totes put away on the storage rack. And we also need to take a look at how much we've produced of pig food for the pigs. So once that's done, we will skip to the next month and we'll be able to purchase ourselves a new set of pigs. Now, was going to do ourselves a little bit of when I started this playthrough, I'm like, you know what, we're gonna transport all the pigs. But then I got going and I'm like, that's gonna take way too much time for the amount of time that I want to put into these recordings and make things work. So we still have the trailer, but I'm currently just gonna pay the fee for them to get delivered. It's a lot easier when we're making content like this for you guys. So hopefully you guys don't mind, but yeah, I just want to be transparent with you guys. That's what's going on since we did kind of change some stuff here. I'm hoping that you guys will continue to watch this. Let's go knock out this field 12, get that thing out of the way, and I will meet you back up in the farmyard. So let's go get this field 12 knocked out. It's not very big, to be honest with you, with this 30-foot wingspan on this cedar. I think it's probably only going to be a few passes that we're going to need to be doing. So I think we'll just kind of start right off here, get ourselves carried or knocked out here, and we'll, I don't think, okay, well, we're going to end up doing something like this. Let's get this thing fired up. Get this fired up and down, and it looks like it's going to carry over with the 90-degree markers from the other field, so that's good. We don't have to do a whole lot of setting up that way, so that's always nice. Like I said, this field isn't terribly big. We are still planting wheat. The next go around, according to the crop rotation planner, once this is done being picked with the wheat, we got to plant this stuff immediately back with some soybeans. So a lot of work ahead, definitely, but we're going to knock this field out, and then we were going to meet you guys back up at the farm because we got to check on the pig feed and we got to check on the pigs. All right, that field is done and planted, and we ended up using everything. Now, I was kind of doing some figure 8 S's in the field, just kind of wasted up because we only had like 2% left. And I figured we'll just, keep driving around a little bit, and it eventually went into the ground and we got it planted. So we're going to head back to the farm, get this stuff all situated, and then we need to get some stuff organized. We need to check on the pig feed, to check on the pigs, things like that. We did get everything planted, even though I do have the time set pretty low right here, but I needed to do that. Let me know down in the comments, should we put this on 2-day months? And if so, should we, when we don't need to have the 2-day months, should we just skip it? Should we just skip those days? You know what I mean? Just go to sleep, skip those days, so that way we can progress the pigs purchasing and reproduction a little bit quicker if we do that. So I'll meet you back at the farm. Well, that was some work getting done, that's for sure. Let's go over and take a look and see what our pig feed production is doing. It's probably not going to be a whole lot, just considering the time frame that we are on, but let's still take a look. It looks like we have a whopping 50 bushels. Okay, so that's not very much, but considering we were only on 0.5 times, that's okay, because we don't quite need to feed them the pig food quite yet until next month. So with that, we are going to make sure that we have everything planted. We do check the planner. We do have field 12 and field 16 both planted in wheat. Field 17 needs to be worked and then get prepped for springtime planting on that field, but we got plenty of stuff to do because we still got to spray down some chemical on field 12, get all that stuff situated. So until the next time, that's going to have to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys all on the next one. Have a good one.